had some foot pain. I realized, okay, I can think of this sort of as an analogy, and maybe there was something in my life that where I was not putting my best foot forward, and I was really doubtful of myself. And so that's when I kind of learned this sort of language of like symptoms have a message. They're just here to tell me something. And so with the foot pain and the hand and wrist pain, these were kind of new parts of my story that really were teachable lessons to see that, wow, the pain is here for a message to tell me that something's going on. I do want to say though, like a lot of my realization through the journal speak process is that I did have trauma growing up. And I always kind of thought, okay, well, I had a perfect childhood. My parents are great. Everything's normal. But look, I hid my sexuality my entire life. I'm gay. And even when I came out of the closet, I thought, okay, well, everything's great. But this sort of conditioning in my nervous system programmed to have these protective personality traits. And these are all the personality traits that Dr. Sarno talks about: perfectionism, people pleasing, being a goodist. And I needed to be and look a certain way so that I was not judged, being judged for who I was. And so that was a lot of the stuff that came up in my journal speak, to really address those personality traits that were all part of hiding my sexuality.
Because that's something that is banked. Like, even if your parents wouldn't have judged you, that internalized homophobia or internalized self loathing for any reason can really be a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it really shaped kind of this sort of um, toxic shame, right? This belief, subconscious belief that I was unworthy in some way. And even after coming out, you'd think, okay, well, I'm out and I'm accepting myself, but you're still like engaging in those protective ways of being and wanting to be seen a certain way. And it's all just masks. So I had to learn that, wow, I need to let this go. And, I need to not beat myself up and be something that I'm not. And so, I think of the work of Gabor Mate and how he talks about authenticity and attachment, and it's just like that, right? We have our authenticity when we're children. We are trying to be with our caregivers, but we don't want to lose our attachment. And so, I hid who I was for fear of that.